Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with your NFL Fade the Public video for week number 11 of the regular season this Sunday, November the 20th. Week 11 is here, and it's time to fade the public the rest of the season, and this is the sweet spot. Keep in mind, when I started a couple years ago in late November, this video went 31-8 through the Super Bowl. We're in mid-November now. Let's see if we have another monster run fading the public here the rest of the season. Big card this week. I've got 6 official Fade the Public plays and also an additional lean, a game that was just a bit outside from making the cut. Also, your Monday night football game in Mexico City is included in this public video as well. So once again, tons of info for Sunday and also Monday night football as well. All of that coming up free for you here on Wager Talk TV. Quick reminder that the NFL is here, of course. College football is here, but don't forget college and pro basketball are here as well. The month of November and December, which is right around the corner, are fantastic months to be an all sports, all access client, as basically you have 4 major sports going on a daily basis. Very special offer right now this weekend. Black Friday has come early because I'm offering the rest of November for free when you purchase December. Look, you're going to get December because it's 4 major sports plus all the college bowl games. It's a great month to be playing. Why not get the rest of November, these next couple weeks, included for free along the way? And it's available right now on my page. No promo code needed at WagerTalk.com. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Choose the December All Access for $2.99, and you get the rest of November, the next couple weeks, included for free. Whether you're joining us on Saturday afternoon when this video goes live, or if you're with us Sunday morning before the NFL games kick off, don't miss out. I've got a super strong NFL card this Sunday, a daytime 3-pack, also Sunday and Monday night football, locked and loaded right now. Get it for free in every basketball and football play for the rest of the month when you sign up for December. Get on board right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with the shortcut code WT.buzz/SM. All right, let's get right to it. We've got a very public card this week. 6 public sides for you and also 1 bonus play. A lot of public underdogs this week as well. And you know, it's always a red flag when the public's on dogs. First of all, let's just, for the new viewers out there, give a quick general synopsis of why we fade the public. In general, when you get a lot of public consensus on one side, it inflates the odds towards that team. So we do start getting some line value. And when we started this video series a couple years ago in November of 2020, as I mentioned, went 31-8 through the Super Bowl from mid-November on. A lot of those games won by a couple points, you know, because the extra line value, especially later in the season, does make a difference, especially around key numbers. And we have that case with several games I'm going to get to here in this video. And also, the public normally plays favorites by default, probably about 60% of the time. So in order to say a public favorite is really public, we got to see at least 70% consensus or more. Then not the case, though, with underdogs. When an underdog is even more than 50%, that can actually be a very public play. And we have a few of those this week. That's one of my favorite angles, is to fade public dogs, because you're actually getting the better quality team in an undesirable role. A lot of times when you're fading the public, you're taking some ugly teams, and that is the case with a few teams this week. But when you fade public dogs, you actually get theoretically the better team because they're the favorite. So we'll get to those dogs in a moment. Let's look at the 2 most public favorites this week on Sunday. And both games go at 1 o'clock Eastern. We'll go down in rotation order here. We're going to look at the Washington Commanders. That's right. Not my Washington Commanders. You all know I grew up in the Northern Virginia area. I was a huge Redskin fan in the 80s and 90s when they were good. I've had no interest in this team for the last couple of decades. And when they got rid of the name and they went to Commanders, football team was pretty bad. Commanders not much better. I have no interest anymore. And I will be fading them this week because I do think they're a bit overrated after that Monday Night Football win. Hey, look, we had the Commanders. We agreed with the public last Monday night here in the video and used the Commanders at WagerTalk.com for my Monday Night Football best bet winner. You know, and that's a good example. First of all, we don't always disagree with the public. We've got 7 games here on this video this week. The public's not going to always be wrong. Use this as a filter, as a factor, part of your handicapping process. I agreed with the Commanders last week. I was with the public on that one. However, I do not agree with them this week. On the surface, very difficult scheduling spot. You got a team coming off an 11-point outright divisional Monday night dog win, and now they're laying 3 on the road in a non-conference game. This is a tremendous flat spot for the Commanders, who are playing good football, 4-1 straight up in ATS their last 5. But I think they come back down to earth this week. So the question becomes, can we trust Houston? And obviously on the surface, they're just 1-7-1 straight up this year, 4-4 against the number. So not a very trustworthy team. But the 8-point loss against the Giants last week was a little bit closer than it appeared. They had a 2-0 turnover deficit. But when you look at the drive charts, I use a mathematical rescoring model. I had the Texans losing by only 1 on the road at New York last week. It was a pretty even matchup. And I do think they can hang here, especially against the Commanders, who look like they're in a substantial flat spot this week. But the public casted with Washington on Sunday. Last Monday. Now they're coming back with them on the short week on Sunday. Commanders -3, one of the most public plays this week. And by the way, that's -3, -115, -120 in many locations as we head into the weekend. So if you like Houston, you might find some +3.5s by kickoff on Sunday. The other really public favorite this week, also at 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday, is the New York Giants, who I just mentioned. Giants having a fantastic season, no question about it. Public has been on them a bit and has made money doing so. Giants are now 7-2 straight up and against the spread. They've been one of the best point spread teams in the league this year. The public was on the Giants last week, and they were on them against Seattle the week before that. They had a bye in between. The Giants actually failed as a public dog against Seattle. That's one of those public dogs I was talking about. What's interesting about that, Giants are a perfect 5-0 straight up and against the spread in all other games except for that Seattle game in which they were a public dog. So once again, shows the power of fading public underdogs in the NFL. But the Giants are playing good football, but on the surface, they're a vastly overrated 7-2 team. They're being outgained by over half a yard per play, 0.7 yards per play. They average 5.3. They give up 6.0. Put this in perspective, the Detroit Lions, their opponent this week, is only being outgained by 0.5. They average 6.1, give up 6.6. So the Lions do have a bad defense. Just not sure the Giants can take advantage. The Giants do run the ball well, and Detroit has struggled to stop the run at times. In fact, last week against the Bears, they gave up 258 yards, and they come from behind victory, and that is a concern. They're actually off back-to-back straight-up underdog wins the last 2 weeks against Green Bay and Chicago. I do think that momentum continues here, though, and that game also was close last week. My rescore model had Detroit losing by just 1. So even they had to come from behind, they gave up a lot of rushing yards. Their pass defense really did shut down Chicago in that game, and I don't think the Giants are going to have much success throwing either. This line also sitting on that key number of 3. So the two most public favorites this week, Washington and New York, two NFC East teams, both 3-point favorites. Difference, though, in this game is that the line was as high as 4, the look-ahead line. There has been some sharp money on Detroit at +3. But once again, Giants, Commanders, very public sides on Sunday. All right, we're going to get to some public underdogs now. We've got 3 very public dogs for Sunday afternoon. And once again, it's a rarity to have this many public dogs late in the season. Let's go down in schedule order. 1 o'clock Eastern, the Carolina Panthers +13, a public dog. You know, I've talked about big point spreads here on this video a few times, and that the public in general stays away from these double-digit lines, and if anything, they start leaning towards the dogs a bit. We saw that on Sunday Night Football a few weeks ago with Tennessee Titans. We saw that in Monday Night Football, as I mentioned last week, with the Washington Commanders. I agreed with Washington last week, not this week. But I do disagree with this one. I like the Ravens in this game. In fact, on WagerTalk today, earlier this week here on the network, I used this as a free play. I gave it on that show for free. So if you'd like some in-depth analysis, be sure to check that replay here on WagerTalk TV. And one thing I mentioned in that video was I contacted Ralph Michaels, the human database, the PIN, Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk.com, and I asked him to run the numbers on teams like the Ravens coming off a bye week and now installed as a double-digit favorite, because obviously you are a little concerned that with an easy game that maybe those big favorites overlook it. Well, the numbers came back exactly down the middle, 19-19 against the spread, 20-20 over-under over the years. That's actually good news, because my concern was that maybe these double-digit favorites were in flat spots. That's not the case. It's a coin flip, 50-50 proposition. It means it's not an angle that works one way or the other. So we can toss out the concern that the Ravens are coming off a bye week now as a double-digit favorite. The Ravens did come off 3 straight wins. Probably didn't necessarily need that bye after the Monday night win against New Orleans, but I don't think it'll hurt them here. A little chance to rest up. Lamar Jackson was limited Friday in practice with an illness. We got to keep an eye on that. Harbaugh says he expects him to be fine by Sunday. This line was 12.5 early in the week. It's been 13 the last few days. It has not moved. So unless we see movement on that point spread, I'm going to assume Lamar Jackson is playing just like Harbaugh said he would. And the Panthers do have quarterback issues here. P.J. Walker turned this team around a few weeks ago. They upset Tampa Bay 21-3. But he will not play this week with the injury, which means Baker Mayfield is back in the starting lineup. He's been below mediocre. In fact, the first month of the season, he was terrible this year for Carolina. And the Panthers are still just 2-5 straight up their last 7 games, despite that Tampa Bay upset and also beating Atlanta on Thursday Night Football last week. Atlanta was actually a fairly public side in that game. I faded it with the Carolina Panthers as a best bet at WagerTalk.com. So I've had a good feel for Carolina, but keep in mind the one good team they've played over the past month was a couple games back at Cincinnati, and they lost by 21, 42-21. I believe it was 38-0, 35 or 38-0 at one point in that game when Baker Mayfield came in. And he did put up some decent numbers, but once again, that was in garbage time. He has not been good this year. I think this is a bad spot for Carolina, and the fact that the public is on it concerns me even more. So I do like Baltimore in this game at -13 at 1 o'clock Eastern. All right, another public dog on Sunday afternoon, also at 1 o'clock Eastern, is fading those Atlanta Falcons with the Chicago Bears. Atlanta currently a 3-point favor, but we're seeing -3 even, -3 105. So if you like Atlanta, I'd wait. This line will probably hit 2.5 in some spots. It looks like it's already started to do so at some locations, as the Bears are a public underdog this week. And look, they're just 3-7 straight up, but they're playing good football, so I fully get the support. But they're still not finding ways to win. Despite playing good football the last 3 weeks, they're off of 3 straight losses. Could have won that Miami game, lost by 3. Had a good lead against Detroit late and ended up losing 31-30. Their offense has come alive. This team was averaging on the season, or still is averaging on the season, just 21.5 points per game, yet they have scored 22 or more in 5 of their last 6. So a substantial increase in offense over the past month. Justin Fields is playing excellent football at quarterback, and he's running the ball extremely well. Atlanta's been pretty mediocre against the run. Their biggest concern, though, has been against the pass. So it's actually not a bad matchup for the Falcons, since Chicago's more of a run-based offense right now, and they do run the ball better than they throw. Atlanta's defensive weakness has been pass D. So this is a situation where you could make a case for Atlanta for that reason. Once again, this line might hit 2.5 and drop further, so I would wait. If you like the Bears, I would lock up that +3 because Chicago is a public underdog on Sunday afternoon. Okay, we got another public dog on the late afternoon card for you on Sunday. Also a bonus play and Monday Night Football. Going to get to those games in just a moment. Quick reminder that December is right around the corner. It's an excellent month to be playing all sports with all the college bowl games, NFL, NBA, and college hoops on a daily basis as well. But don't forget about November. Those 4 sports are going right now, and I've got a very special offer. When you buy the month of December, this weekend right now, you get the rest of November for free. It's an early Black Friday offer. It actually goes through next week. You got a full week to take advantage of this offer, but why wait? Because you're getting the rest of November for free. So every day you wait is one less day of November that you're getting for free. One less day of all of my personal best bets. Same games I use each and every day. Same games that have won consistently for the past 26 years since I started as a professional handicapper in 1996. College basketball, pro basketball, college football, NFL pro football, every sport, every day and night for the next month and a half. Shoot, that's the rest of 2022. Get the rest of the year for just $2.99. By December, get the rest of November for free. Gets you everything for the rest of 2022 for just $2.99. No promo code needed. It's on my page right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut code WT.buzz/SM. All right, let's keep it rolling here in the NFL on Sunday. We're going to get to 2 more public dogs, or actually 1 more public dog, an additional public dog lean, and Monday Night Football. Quick reminder, comment below. Let me know your thoughts where you agree or disagree with the public. As I said, last Monday night, I was on the Commanders. I don't always disagree. Let me know where you agree or disagree this week with these public plays. Comment below. I read all the comments. I reply back. I love the support. I honestly believe we have the sharpest and most intelligent sports bettors here on Wager Talk TV. All right, one play in the late afternoon card Sunday that's very public. It's another public dog alert, and that's the Minnesota Vikings at 4:25 Eastern against the Dallas Cowboys. You know, Dallas blew that 14-point lead heading into the fourth quarter last week against Green Bay. In the franchise's history, over 60-plus years, they had never done that. They were 195-0 straight up with a 14 or more point lead in the fourth quarter, and they blew it and lost in overtime to Green Bay. Question is, do they bounce back this week? Public doesn't think so. They're back in the Vikings, and currently the Vikings are +1.5. This game open pick is up to +1.5, as there's actually been a bit of a sharp square divide. Sharp money on Dallas, public money on Minnesota. And the Vikings are, I talked about the Giants being almost over a half a yard below average yards per play, yet 7-2 straight up against the spread. Vikings are 8-1 straight up, and they're being outgained 5.6 to 6.1 yards per play, a half a yard per play to the negative after 9 games, and they're still 8-1 straight up. They find ways to win. Big reason is not turning the ball over. And Cousins is a good quarterback, so that's going to limit the interceptions, but the fumbles have also been almost non-existent, and fumbles are 90% random. I've done the research on that before, and that's likely to turn around at some point. We saw the Eagles on Monday night, for example. They'd only had 3 turnovers all season. They had 4 in that game against the Commanders, including 3 lost fumbles. Vikings, though, had 2 turnovers last week against Buffalo. Very rare because there's 6 previous games they'd had 1 turnover or less in every single game. Unlikely they'll continue to have that good fortune. And the one against Buffalo was a little phony. Bills had 4 turnovers and obviously a crazy finish there. Otherwise, Minnesota probably picks up a loss. So you got a Minnesota team off a fortunate win against a Dallas team blowing a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. Looks like a good bounce back spot for the public, for the Cowboys. The public, though, disagrees, and they like the Vikings plus the 1.5. Gabe Morency, I was doing his show Friday night over at Sports Grid. He said since 1978, the Vikings are the first 8-1 team to have their quarterback healthy, starting quarterback intact, and go 8-1 and be a home dog. So that's how unusual it is to see the Vikings getting points here. Obviously, the public feels that way, and they are backing them plus 1.5. It's a late afternoon game at 4:25 Eastern on Sunday. All right, going to get to the Monday Night Football game in just a moment, but one other game just missed the cut on Sunday. I want to give it to you as just a bit outside baseball video style. Those of you who watched it this summer appreciate that. The New York Jets, another public dog here. Not quite as strong as the other ones I gave you, so this is an additional public lean only. But the Jets are getting some public sentiment this week, fading the New England Patriots. And it's interesting because a few weeks ago, public was pretty heavy on the Jets as a home dog when these two teams played exactly 2 games ago for the Jets and the Patriots, because they both have actually had a bye since. Both teams are coming off a bye last week, actually. So they just played 2 games ago. And the Patriots, of course, got it done 22-17 as a 3-point road favorite. And now in the rematch, they're just 3.5 at home. So only a half-point adjustment for the site change. And the public doesn't think it's a mistake, and they're backing them here. Not quite as strong as the other public dogs I mentioned, but once again, the Jets are getting some public love here. Very good defensive team this year, so not a surprise. They're allowing just 5 yards per play against teams that average 5.8. New England's been below average this year offensively, just 5.5, slightly above average defensively. So statistically speaking, I can understand why the public likes the Jets in this game, and the 3.5 is a key number, of course, about a 9 to 10% chance New England wins this one by exactly 3, especially with a really low total of just 38. We'll have to keep an eye on the weather as well. That Northeastern are, of course, moving through Buffalo. Had that game relocated. Once again, not as strong as the official public plays this week, but an additional public lean on the New York Jets plus 3.5. All right, let's finish it off with Monday Night Football. Monday night in Mexico City, the 5th biggest city in the world. By the way, a lot of talk about the NBA Pro Basketball putting a team in Mexico City. I think it makes a ton of sense. So we'll keep an eye on that when they look to expand. This is the NFL, though. You know, the NFL is not afraid to go to Europe. They've been in London, Munich, Germany last week, and now they're in Mexico City. And the 49ers and Cardinals both have a big fan base down there for this divisional game. 49ers have been training in the altitude Colorado Springs this week. 30-degree weather at times. Some players wanted hot air pumped into their helmet. It was that cold. So definitely a culture shock for the West Coast California guys. We'll see if the altitude training helps the 49ers. The public doesn't think so, though. The public is backing the Arizona Cardinals plus the points here, plus the 8 in this game. Look-ahead line was 5.5. Now it's 8. That's because Kyler Murray is still listed as questionable. The starting quarterback has not been declared for this game heading into the weekend. Both Colt McCoy and Kyler Murray were limited this week, but Colt McCoy was fully healthy for Friday's practice. So at worst, they will have the veteran backup starting this game. Of course, Kyler Murray missed last week's game against the Rams, who are always also without their starting quarterback when the Rams lost 27-17 to the Cardinals. Arizona's still been below average this season, though. A very mediocre 4-6 straight up. 49ers, meanwhile, just 5-4, but playing pretty good football. And they have had a solid running attack, throwing the ball very efficiently, more so than people realize. And that's the big difference in this matchup. 49ers average 7.6 yards per pass attempt. Cardinals just 5.5, and they're probably going to be without Kyler Murray. So keep an eye on the quarterback situation. Public doesn't seem to care, though. They like the Arizona Cardinals plus 8 on Monday Night Football in Mexico City. All right, big video here for you. Hope you found the information useful. Gave you 6 official public sides and also an additional lean. So 7 games covered for free here. If you found it helpful, hit the thumbs up, the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe and hit that bell for instant alerts when this video goes live each and every week. And have it up probably a little bit earlier next week, maybe for Thanksgiving week. So hit that bell for an instant alert. Don't forget about my college football top 25 preview video every week. I've got 2 Saturday night games on that video. So if you're joining us on Saturday afternoon or evening, not too late, Get to some Saturday night free content here on WagerTalk TV. I had 5 college football best bets for Saturday, including numerous night games. So once again, if you're joining us on Saturday afternoon, go get some college football best bets right now. And don't forget about Sunday, a huge NFL card. Daytime 3-pack is locked and loaded right now. Sunday and Monday night football as well. Hey, how would you like it for free? Quite easy. By December, get the rest of November for free. It's a fantastic offer. Black Friday came early, a week early, because I wanted you to get extra November best bets included in this package. It's quite simple. No promo code needed. Go to my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Purchase the $2.99 December All Access All Sports Package. That gets you every NFL, college football bowl game, college football play along the way, college basketball, NBA every day for the month of December for $2.99. And you get the rest of November included for free when you purchase it right now. That's almost 2 weeks for free. Don't delay. This offer's good all week through Black Friday, but every day you wait is one less day of November best bets that you're getting for free for all 4 major sports that I handicap on a daily basis. Same games that I'm personally using, same games I've won with now consistently for the past 26 years as a full-time professional handicapper. Make a commitment to winning. Get on board now. Start taking a serious, consistent, daily, long-term investment approach. Get the rest of the year, 2022, for just $2.99. That's December, and you get the rest of November included for free. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut code WT.buzz/SM. Hey, if you use Twitter, don't forget to follow me there as well, at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on Twitter. And once again, like, subscribe, and most importantly, comment below. I love the comments. I read everyone, and I reply back. Let me know where you agree or disagree with the public. You know, once again, public's not always wrong. We use this as a filter, as a factor, a piece of the puzzle in the overall handicapping equation. Let me know where you agree or disagree this week. Also, give me those NFL player props. I'd love to see those player props. Your 6-point teasers, your 2-team 6-point teasers. Let me know where you think there's value. And if you have any handicapping questions, any general questions, money management, line value, shopping for line value, key numbers, things like that, feel free to chime in. I'll answer them the best I can. I read all the comments and I reply back. I love the support. I love the great, smart betting minds that we have right here on WagerTalk TV. Best of luck. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, download the WagerTalk TV app for your favorite mobile device. You can also listen to these shows podcast form, audio style, with WagerTalk podcast app. And check back all week long, Monday through Friday. Have a great Thanksgiving. If I don't talk to you by then, we'll have the NFL Fade the Public video next week. If there's some Thursday games involved, I might get it up early. If not, we're usually up Saturday afternoon every week here. College football top 25 video every Friday evening as well, right here on WagerTalk TV. And in early advance, happy Thanksgiving. Best of luck this weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon.